There you go.
Nice.
Oh, I thought it would be the gingerbread house we were running into.
Nope.
Let us see what we have. Ah, a farm.
Hot.
Yeah. You have stopped near the crest of a hill. Below you, the forest road descends to a stone bridge which crosses a frozen stream. A rough log cabin stands beside the bridge, and a thin trail of wood smoke rises from its crooked chimney, indicating that it is occupied. At the rear you see stables, and at once you sense the presence of horses. Do you wish to approach the cabin and attempt to take a fresh mount from the stables, or will you rather abandon your exhausted horse and go through the forest on foot?
I think we should take. I think we should leave the horse and continue on foot because.
I think we should take our horse in there and then take a fresh horse.
Given here, you're the tiebreaker.
Sounds good to me.
Which one does?
The fresh horse thingy.
Right. Cautiously, you descend the slippery hill track and make your approach to the bridge. The thick snow muffles your steps, and you're able to reach the cabin without alerting its occupants. You motion to Prarg to take hold of the horse and keep lookout whilst you investigate the stables. Silently, you slip alongside the cabin and pass beneath its solitary window. Do you wish to look in through the window, or ignore it and go directly to the stables?
Let's take a look inside, see who's there.
Okay, but do it quietly.
Yeah, but I swear, if we see a guy in red and white, I'm slapping my forehead.
It's Santa! Well, at least it isn't a witch in the gingerbread house.
You peer through the grimy glass and see a grizzled old Drakkar sitting in front of a blazing fire. A briar pipe hangs precariously from the corner of his bearded mouth, and he puffs fitfully at its content as he reaches from a tattered leather-bound book, which lies open in his lap. You sense that he is a veteran of many battles, who, now that he is too old to fight, has been given the undemanding task of guarding this river crossing. Mindful that time is fast running out, you leave the window and hurry on towards the stables.
Oh, so it was the evil Santa.
So I guess that makes it okay to steal his horse now.
Not really okay. Not something.
Well, he's still an enemy soldier, although he's an old enemy soldier.
Yeah, so it's okay to steal from him now.
Not really per se, but yeah, let us do it.
Once inside the stable, you discover two horses. One is old and lame, but the other is young and powerfully built. Using your powers of animal control, you subdue them and lead the younger horse, a grey mare, from its stall. As you leave the stable, you see Prarg pointing frantically towards the crest of the hill. A troop of Drakkar cavalry are descending towards the bridge. Quickly you mount the mare and help Prarg to climb up upon her back. Then the enemy see you and immediately sound a horn. Moments later, an old Drakkar appears at the door to the cabin. He is holding a boar musket, and when you fail to obey his command to halt, he levels his primitive gun at you and pulls the trigger. Roll the die.
8. I think it's stuck there now.
I mean, just like it was stuck on 6 yesterday.
Yep.
There's a loud bang and a grey cloud billows from the muzzle of the musket. It startles the horse, but you swiftly control the animal and urge it forward out onto the road. In the confusion, you make your escape northwards, hidden from the eyes of your pursuing enemy by the acrid cloud of gunpowder smoke. Your ears are ringing, but otherwise you and Prarg escape unharmed, because you are fucking Marty Stew at this point. The mare is strong and sure-footed, and despite the snow, you quickly cover more than 8 miles before you encounter something on the road ahead that brings you immediately to a standstill.
Onward and upwards, Derby. Says the grey mare.
In the distance, but it's not a Pegasus.
It would be awesome if it was.
Yeah, but it isn't. In the distance, you see a makeshift roadblock. Several trees have been hacked down and they're strewn haphazardly across the road. Behind the obstruction stands several armored Drakkar, waiting eagerly for you to appear. At once you leave the road and take cover in the forest. The trees hereabouts are too dense to allow you to enter on horseback, so reluctantly you abandon the mare and enter on foot.
God damn it!
Your instinct and pathmanship skills lead you in a westerly direction, and you cover more than 5 miles before the trees begin to thin out. Then you emerge from the forest to be greeted by a spectacular sight.
Oh, look! It's a giant popsicle!
No.
What?
No, it's not. Before you lies a vast frozen lake, more than a mile wide at the point at which you now stand. An icy wind whips across its glistening surface, stirring freshly fallen snow into eddies which whirl and dance like spinning tops. Silently you stare across the lake at the distant tree line, and your mind is filled with doubt. The Temple of Anta lies beyond, of that you are sure, and the quickest way to reach it would be to traverse the lake. But there is no cover, and no way of knowing if the ice is thick enough to support you all the way across. Yet to go around the lake would delay you by hours, giving your pursuer ample time to catch up and attack. At length you decide to take your chance across the lake. At first the going is smooth and you make an easy progress, but as you near the center, suddenly you sense that something is wrong.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Suddenly you sense that Prarg is walking directly towards a patch of thin ice. You shout a warning, but it's already too late. A loud crack echoes across the lake as the surface shatters, and it's the terrible moment your companion disappears feet first into a seething pool of icy grey water. Do you wish to use your rope?
Yep.
Yes!
You rush towards your stricken companion, unshouldering your backpack as you run. Once you're close to the hole, as you dare go, you tear open the pack and take out your coiled rope. Prarg is foundering in the icy water. He can barely keep his head above the surface. Hurriedly, you hurl one end of the rope towards him, and he makes a desperate grab for it with numb fingers. Miraculously, he grips it first time and manages to hold on tight as you haul him out of the freezing water. His skin is violet, and his entire body is shaking uncontrollably. Using your healing skills, you transmit some of your body warmth through your hands to his chest and face, and within a few minutes he comes out of his state of shock and his body returns to its normal temperature. Your prompt action has saved his life, but has also drained you of 3 endurance points.
You know what?
This guy's starting to be more trouble than he's help.
Yeah, I know, but, well, we cannot just abandon him right here in the middle of a lake, but, yeah, he starts to attract a lot of unfortunate little encounters, if you ask me.
Well, he's only mortal. Unlike you, who can do all kinds of weird shit. Just saying.
That's just because we have years of training. We are no better than he is, in a way.
You also have the favor of the random number god. I don't think he has.
Your life is made by decisions made by this dice, so yeah.
Captain Prarg recovers consciousness and slowly his strength returns until he's able, with your help, to regain his feet. He is cold and soaking wet, but you sense that he is no longer in a state of shock. He will survive. Carefully you both retreat from the hole and make a wide detour around this section. An hour later you reach the far side of the lake and enter the trees beyond. You move deeper into the forest, maintaining a steady pace. Here, in this part of the Tosas, the snowfall underfoot is light because of the canopy of thick branches overhead, and you make good progress. You've been walking for an hour when a shivery rustle brings you abruptly to a halt. You look up and a miniature snowslide falls from a branch overhead, covering your face and shoulders with a deluge of powdery snow. Prarg laughs as he watches you spluttering, and as you wipe your eyes, you glimpse a great-winged bird fluttering away to the west. "By the gods, I'm hungry," exclaims Prarg, leaning weakly against the tree trunk. "What I'd give for a side of beef and a plate of boiled beets." The captain has not eaten since before you reached your corner, and you can see that after the rigors of his capture and escape, he is sorely in need of food. Unless he eats soon, he will be unable to go much further. So you wish to use a meal?
Yeah, I said.
Yeah, sure.
He needs he needs a meal. He was the one being tortured, so yeah.
You take some bread and dried meat from your backpack and offer it to your companion. Gratefully he accepts the food and settles himself at the base of a tree where hungrily he consumes every scrap. Deduct a meal. Meanwhile, you scan the surrounding forest, ever watchful for enemies. For the last hour you have had a growing suspicion that something has been watching you. Your senses detect the presence of a hostile entity closing from the west. Now, the suspicion has become a firm belief, and the moment Prarg finishes his meal, you suggest that you be on your way as swiftly as possible.
Get away from the peeping Tom.
During the trek through the forest, Prarg tells you a little about the history of the land. You learned that the whole of Nibras was once known as Northern Lencia, until it was lost to the invading Drakarim during the Dark Dawn War. Many crusades and campaigns have been launched over the centuries to try to recapture this territory, but none until now have been successful. The Drakarim built a fortress on the ruins of the Lentian capital, which was called Gamir, which were renamed Nagamir after their victory. But later, when the Drakarim allied themselves to the Dark Lords of Helgedad, the capital was renamed Dark in their honor. As dusk approaches, you happen by chance upon a forest trail, and immediately your tracking skills tells you that it has only recently been constructed. Hoof prints frozen beneath the snow and several sets of footprints tells you that this trail has been used by more than a dozen riders and armored foot soldiers within the last week. Guided by your intuition, you set off with Prarg along the forest trail, heading west, and soon your tracking skills warn you that you are nearing an enemy encampment. You signal your discovery to Prarg, and he follows as stealthily you enter the undergrowth and slip past a line of Drakarim sentries. From the cover of the dense forest bracken, you observe their camp. You count more than 24 soldiers, plus horses, wagons, and shelters. Prarg points to the emblem which adorns all of their uniforms and equipment. a black eagle clutching 2 fiery swords. "These are the Tukudak, Warlord Magnon's personal guards," he says in a hushed whisper. "We should be wise to avoid them." You nod in agreement, then together you slip away from the camp and head north through the trees. You are drawn in this direction by something your senses have detected. It is a strong aura of energy, an evil energy which you feel sure must be radiating from the Doomstone of Dark. Within a few minutes you stumble upon a clearing where stands the majestic ruins of an ancient temple. At once you know that this is the Temple of Antar, and you sense that the Doomstone is here, lying somewhere deep within the ruins.
Okay.
From the cover of the forest edge, you observe the temple, taking in every detail, your eyes scoring every inch of its leprous grey exterior, for a way of gaining entry without being detected. Much of the temple is derelict, yet it still stands it is still an imposing edifice, especially the squat stone tower which stands intact at its center. Its walls are covered with intricate designs that must have taken centuries to complete, yet while you admire the craftsmanship, you find the embellishment wholly repulsive, for they depict and glorify acts of great evil. The text does not elaborate what that exactly entails, but it's acts of great evil.
Yeah, I do not think we want to know.
Tea parties with dollies and teddy bears.
Oh noes! The ruins
Spaghetti-O!
We really need a good definition of what evil is per se, and by the way, if you will excuse me, I need to answer the call of nature.
Right, we will be right back after these messages. Right, and we're back.
Let's continue then.
The ruins are deserted except for a wide ramp of stone, which leads to a pair of huge bronze doors set into the base of the tower.
Wait, it's alive?
What?
You said the ruins are deserted except for this, so it's alive?
Huh.
Well, the stone ramp hasn't left the building, no. I don't know. These doors are open, but they are guarded by 2 of Warlord Magnon's Tukudak.
Wait, I thought you said it was deserted.
Well, except the stone ramp, and the door, and the Tukudaks.
It is deserted, all except for, you know, this smaller elite cadre of warriors.
It's completely deserted, except it isn't.
This...
This place is completely deserted, except for this humongous party with thousands of people.
Yep. The open doors to the tower appears to offer the only means of access to a temple. Because of this, you decide that you will try to overpower the 2 Tukudak, who are standing guard there. Armed with your formidable Kai skills, and with dusk fast turning to darkness, you are confident you will succeed. You tell Prarg, who is unarmed, to wait here at the forest edge until you signal for him to join you. Then you stalk towards the tower, your approach masked by your camouflage skills. At first the way is easy, but the last 20 yards of ground to the stone ramp has been cleared of temple debris, and this area is completely open, devoid of any cover. Roll the die. And add 2 for being a Sun Knight.
Oh, 9.
But of course, how could it be anything but? Thanks to your Kai skills, the 2 Tukudak guards do not see you until it's too late. From the base of the stone ramp, you launch a lightning attack, which dispatches them both before they can attempt to raise their alarm.
Alright, and I think I need to add this because of our new title as Sun Knight. Rise and shine, motherfuckers!
Yep.
Nice.
That was...
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.